We continue. Today's certain. We should return true if S2 contains permutation of S1 or false otherwise. In other words, return true if S1 is permutation is the substring of S2. Okay, so we have S2, and we should check if we do have some permutations here. So let's quickly try to understand what we need here. So we have string 1 and string 2. We should return true or false if we have permutations. So for example, we have S1 AB, and here we have U something A, then we have B, but then we have A and L. So in this case we should return true. All right, so let's check S1 and S2 lengths. We can say that the lengths of S1 and S2 would be from 1 to, let's say, 10 into 5th power. Yeah, we have 4, but yeah, it doesn't matter because what we can do here, we can just iterate over each string, and when we, for example, see some string that compares, then we just iterate and check, does it compare? No. If it's not, then we go, yeah, then we just skip this, then skip, and but yeah, but the problem here is that this BA should be considered as valid, so we cannot actually check this way. So what we can do, we can create some kind of map of values that we need to check, and then we just go, we are our string, and we check. So okay, U is not, it doesn't have any in map. Then S doesn't have. Then A it do have. So we just what we do, we yeah, so it consists of only lowercase. So even without map, we can check. We can have just an array of 26 elements. So we have N, A, and B with 1. So in this case, we should check A. A we decrease, right? Then we go to D, but D is not exist, so we should I think when it's not exist, so when we go to U, we go also with this one, but then when we go with A, so we decrease, then we go, then we have D, and we go here up to A, and A we increase one more time and go to D. Then we have B, so B we decrease, A we decrease, and now we see that the difference between I and J is 2. So it's like the length of these elements. And it means that we just return true in this case. All right, so we have one pointer that is going, it's decreasing, and another pointer is increasing. And at the beginning, we just populate this integer array. And in case we have the I and J, the length is the size of this first string, we just return true, otherwise return false. Okay, so I think the time complexity here is linear, the space complexity also linear, because we need to store all elements of our string S1. So let's have it like memo. We have int with 26 elements. Then we just iterate over over each character. So it would be char C S1 to char array. And here we put into the memo C minus A lowercase, right, plus plus. Okay, so here we have our memo. Then at the end we should return false because we doesn't have such things. Also we should have int j, that would be 0, and also we have int I. We start with s2 length I++, and here we check if I minus j is equal to s1 length, we just return true. And here I think we also can return true if s2 length minus j equal to s1 length. All right. Okay, so let's check. So here, if s2 char at I, we have memo. Here we have our char, right? Char C. So we take this char, and if is greater than 0, then we decrement then we decrement and else. Okay, we decrement this value by 1. And go forward. But here, else, we iterate while j is not equal to I. We iterate, and if we have s2 char at j plus plus equal yeah, so the main problem that we need I think we should need, we don't need actually increment. So only here when it's equal to 0. Yes, so when it's equal to 0, we put our j equal to I. Yes. And here we just skip. And then if we have this difference, we return true. So let's take these two examples. And so we first, what we do, We still need to decrement because we can have here multiple ones. Yes. So unfortunately, we need to decrement. Mhm. But then we need to increment this when we go. Yes, so when it would be greater than 0. We need to decrement this. Let's maybe have another set of characters. And then when we iterate, we not only have these frequencies, but also set add this character, and now, else while j is less than I, we check if set contains memo, if set contains C, right? S2 char at J++. We increment our memo with S2 char at J. Here would be plus equal to 1. And then we increment our J here. But if this one is greater, here it should be minus I. In here we should just decrement this value here. And yes, so it should work like this. So let's take this here, this here. Yeah, something like this. Equal. So let's now debug. So we have a set. So set with A and B. There we have 1 and 1 and other zeros. Then we iterate over our index with two pointers. First they point to A. So when they're not equal, J actually is equal, so we don't go to if. Then I. So I is still not equal, and we go to J. E is not contained, so we just increment J. Then we go to D. Yes. And increment J. Then we go to B. B is equal. So, yeah, so we decrement this B here to 0. Then we have A. We also decrement A to 0. And then we have O. And here, O is on which index? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, 1, 2, 3. So it would be 2. And we return true here. So let's check. Let's submit. Okay. A, B, C, D, C, B, E. Output false. Let's take use this test case and check why it doesn't work. So, so here we have ABC, ADC, sorry. Here we say CDA, right? So first, we check D, right? So D, C, and then D. So when it's D, we decrement. When it's C, we decrement. But then we have D, and we should start incrementing because set contains. So we should increment D. We should increment C, and then come to this D. So we decrement it another time. So yeah, looks like not really correct actually with this set. Don't think that actually this set should work like this. I don't think it should work like this. So this actually is a very, very good example how it could work. Have memo. So yeah, memo. So with memo, probably it's good. It's a good option. And so here we decrement, but then else. So for example, here we should like check C, D, and A, and we should skip this D, DC, and then DC when we have another D. Okay. We actually skip this D. Okay. Yeah, so here it makes sense to check if even not while. So we have DC, so it will 2. Then we move this D back. We should put this back. CD. Maybe while. So we have current D. Yeah, but still we don't have it here. So that means that we actually don't need map, we need a map here. So it will be character and integer. We need a map, new hash map, and here we put map put map put C, and here map get or default C key and 0 plus 1. So here we actually populate our map, and then we iterate over S2, and then if we have the value in the map, so we take this value, and if map get this value, it's not equal to null, and map get, so yeah, if it's not equal to null, we go to this if block, yes, and if map get this value is equal to 0, we can check like this, while equal to 0, then we do like this. We should we should increment our j and check if map get s2 char at j yes, so if map get s2 char at, so contains this value, then we should do like map put s2 char at j plus plus, and here we put map get this value plus 1. Okay. And here we just increment our j. So what does it mean? It means we have this while loop that is going forward, and we check if we have this difference. And here we can check if this map is greater than 0. We just decrement map put yeah, so map put, and here we take s2 map get -1. Yeah, it sounds like this. Contains key. True, false. Yeah, so here's the problem is when we have E, I, D, B, and then we have O, right? So with else, we actually need to go we need to go and update. We need to go and update in while. Yeah, I think it looks like very strange. Okay, so we already solved in 23 minutes, so let's check our submission. Yeah, I see that last time 24. Yeah, okay. So yes, so it's, yeah, we need this thing, then we need this incrementum, then we iterate, a while loop, copy. Yeah, here actually we use a copy. We use a copy. So every time if char is this counter is greater than 0, we use this copy. We try to check if they contain, so we just return true. Otherwise, we continue. Yeah, that makes sense. So this actually makes sense. What we have here? Array sort. So we keep K and L. Sorted string. S1. Then we go. Okay, that's a strange one. Okay, so here we have this map. And then we have while loop. Another while loop. Okay, and we have editorial maybe? Yeah. So we have brute force solution. So brute force solution. Yeah. Quite using sorting. Sort first. Using hash map. Use an array. Yeah, we see here that we create another array and we put in another array and then we check if it's matches. Okay. S2 length minus 1. S1 length. We put matches. Sliding window. Optimize it, sliding window. Okay. Yeah, it's looks like good question, but let me try to implement maybe with this copy of array that we have. Can we just move back? Yeah, so we have our memo. So here we don't need actually this set. We just put in our memo and we have J, and then we go with I, and here we can check if if s2 char at I, if memo is greater than 0, what we do, we actually should just check the result. Here we return false, and here we do erase copy of memo int copy, and then what we do, we try to check if our values contains. Yeah, so in current state it contains. So first of all, we can just verify if s1 length is greater than s2 length. So we just return true or false. It's just for one test case, but then we create this memo, and here we should go until s2 minus s1 length, and yeah, and here we just start from j equal to 0, j is less than s1 length, and j plus plus, and here we check if copy of s2 char at j, if char copy char and j, if it's equal to 0, we break, or I don't like this break. So if it's greater than 0, we do like copy minus a, we do copy minus 1, and here I'm telling like Boolean result is true, and here else result false, break, and here I check if result, then return true, and here I update I plus equal to s1 x minus 1, because then I just update one more time. So let's run it. Yeah, erase copy. Let's check how it works. Okay. So erase copy doesn't work this same way. So we need to do something like this. Yeah, so it would be copy of memo, and then memo copy. And here we don't need this one. Let's run. And yeah, memo length. All right. So here we have false. We can just check like this. output false. What we remove? Okay, let me take a look. So I check S2 char at, okay, if memo is greater than 0, right? So I go here. Then I do copy. Then I have my result. Then I go from J. Okay. So here it should be from I. Now we have case 2 false, output true. Why it's true? So for example, here I meet first B, right? So I make this copy. Then I'm on J. Equal maybe? No. Okay, so I'm on J, and then I check copy minus J minus 1. No, minus 1. Then I take O, but O should be false, and I break. And here result should be false. So I don't understand why it's not false. Let's print it out. Let's print arrays to string copy. Then let's print result. Then let's print I. And let's print J. Okay. JI. Okay, let's not print J. Okay, so here I have 1, 1, then true, and I is 3. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it means so it should be I plus S length 2. Okay. Here it's false, but should be true. Expect output false. So how it works here? So I have, yes, I have A, D, C, then another D, A, C, D, right? So yeah, so here I am on D, and okay, so DC. So maybe I don't need this one. Let's run. Out of bound. Let's use this test case. So with 12, right? So we should do like this. So if yeah, and I plus S1 length is less than S2 length. Less or equal. Okay, so we're done. Let's check our submission. Yeah, quite like the best submissions that we have here, but yeah, we see that logic is quite complex one, so I don't think on the real interview it's possible to do without, so we have like a lot of hints here. So we see that TLA, time limit, then how will you check one string permutation? One way is to search the string and then compare, but it's better one string permutation. What about hash table? Yeah, so we use it actually as a logic here. So quite complex task, but we're done for today.